A very hot and a warm afternoon to all the dignitaries and my fellow mates present here. I, Anirudh Sharma from PGDM batch 2021-23, welcomes you all to this compelling and whip smart session on Institute to Industry. I have always believed that there are moments in our lives which can be defined as a transition between before and after, between the cause and the effect. Academics and industry are two different worlds which operate on different pedestals. Both have different purposes and different ideologies. However, the rapid pace of change in the environment is compelling these two different worlds to come together to address and solve scheme of the real world challenges. With this, I would like to introduce our guest of the day. An engineer by qualification, people managers by choice, chief human resource officer as a title, inquisitive by nature, bold via decisions, and adaptable, easy to multitasking. Mr. Sanjay Jain has 30-year plus work experience in multifaceted roles from manufacturing, management consulting assignments, business unit head, CEO, and CHRO in diverse sectors of infrastructure, specialty chemicals, power and mining, search and selection, and citizen services. He also specializes in organizations restructuring and strategy, business process re-engineering, HR processes architecture, and talent management. Currently, he is working as CHRO with Polyplastics Industries Pvt Ltd at Gurugram, a company specializes in engineering plastics OE components for automotive sectors. I welcome you on board, sir, and thank you, sir, for giving your valuable time. Now I would like to welcome.
Okay, that's it, Anirudh. I'll take up. So, okay. On behalf of our Director General, JSP, Dean Academics, and the management, I would formally like to welcome Sanjay that he has agreed to give a lecture to my students. And the stature what he has experience which will enrich us today because he's working into diverse verifications and carrying the experience from a manufacturing unit, maybe into corporates also. So he's carrying that experience which you will gain in the lecture and make this lecture more interactive. You can ask your questions because after 1 month you will be moving to your SIP. So whatever question you have in your mind related to your corporate exposure, please ask him. Okay, you can switch on your cameras, make this an interactive session. This will be learning because he is coming from a HR fraternity. He's a CHRO, so he is dealing with the sales people, the production people, the quality, the marketing, and the young interns like you. So over to you, Sanjay. Thank you so much again for accepting the request.
Okay, welcome to you all, and thanks for giving this opportunity as well as big introduction. Before I begin, let me just ask you, can every one of you relax a bit, and to do that, just close your eyes for a few seconds and take just deep breaths, 5 deep breaths. Just close your eyes for a few seconds and take a deep breath in and breathe out. One more time, take a deep breath in and breathe out. Third time, take a deep breath in and breathe out. Another time, one more time, take a deep breath in and breathe out. And last time, a fuller breath in. Keep your eyes closed. Now, think of 5 differences. Keep your eyes closed. Think of 5 differences that you feel are different from an institute to an industry. I'll give you 30 seconds. Just think. We will not be asking you to speak on this. Just think. Okay. So now all of you can open your eyes. So just a second. Okay. So now I asked you to look at it from your thought process. What do you feel can be the differences between the institute where you are and the industry? And I've written down a few things because the first thing that comes into mind when you join an institute is what you are coming to a campus. And the moment you enter into an industry, it is either an office or a factory environment. They are poles apart. At the institute, you are a student, you are pampered, and you expect that. But the moment you move to an industry, you are just a trainee or an employee. And you are just one of the big pool of people, the industry employees. There are system processes, but you are just at the starting point. At the institute, the people who are responsible for you would be your teachers, faculty members, administrative staff. The moment you move to the industry, you would be assigned your boss, could be a manager, could be lower, and a department. So like the qualifications you are doing, which is the MBA program or a postgraduate program, some people are doing in analytics, HR, finance, marketing, international business. So depending on that, you would just be either an ICARD number or a department. Here, you are required to have focus on your studies and curriculum. The industry expects you to learn on the job, which is a big requirement for the industry because the paradigm shift is huge. The campuses are secured and lively. There are so many avenues for you to experiment, to live a campus life. And that's why I always say, I have also had 4 years of engineering, 2 years of MTech, and then an MBA program. So this is the best time for you to really be focused on your studies and curriculum, but at the same time, enjoy. After that, it's the working conditions. Wherever you are working, it's the standardized working conditions where you have to adapt. It is not that according to your choice or according to your requirements, you would get the working conditions. At the institute, you develop friendship and it's a healthy competition. Marks ka hai, theek hai. But in the industry, it is a career and competition is intense. You would have faced the competition before coming to the institute. So your focus, marks, everything was prior to coming to the institute. After the institute, the competition level reduces drastically. But at the industry, you cannot even imagine where the competition would come from. It's like a hidden enemy. You don't even know. External environments define that. Here, at the end of the period, you get a degree. But in the industry, you have to develop and upgrade yourself with the knowledge of what you are joining, and a continuous lifelong requirement to upgrade your skills. What was relevant 10 years back is absolutely zero today. I graduated in engineering in 1987. We probably saw for the first time personal computers in the year 1984. Today, all your people cannot even think of without a PC or a laptop or a smartphone. And whatever learnings we had today is irrelevant. So the skills needs to be upgraded. The title that we say is unlearn, learn and unlearn, in the sense that whatever we have picked up that will help us after some time, then we need to forget that. And that is why the term unlearn, because if we don't unlearn, we will never have that quest to further upgrade ourselves and learn further. At the institute, you have freedom, you have a lot of choices. Some people can ignore to attend my lecture. But when you move to the industry, there are strict timings, there are strict discipline, as well as there are access rights. You can roam around freely in your campus. You might not be able to do that in an industry. And I did my training in, let's say, a fertilizer unit. The unit is so big that from one end, at the other end, you would need buses to take you. So at the institute, you are a protected lot. But when you move to the industry, you are on your own. You have to protect yourself. You have to take care of yourself. You have to do everything. You are responsible for your own. And this is a big change. Some of you might have felt even a similar pang when you joined a campus. Freshers, you are seeing some people react very badly of having missed their household culture, the food they used to get, the pamperings they used to get at home. Definitely campuses today are far, far better as compared to the situation when we did our engineering. But still, there is a huge change from a comfort of your home to campus and further when you join an industry. The institutes, it will be a fixed duration. Further that, it's a new life which is continuous. Here, you might get a small pocket money, but at the industry, yes, you are proud that you're getting a salary. But then that the concept of salary is earn and learn. So you need to be deserving of whatever you are getting. And that deserving is entirely in your hands. So now think of when I asked you to think about 5 differences, whether you could relate to these points which I have mentioned. And as I promised Dr. Vatika, that these are all experienced inputs. You may not be able to get similar kind of things via Google search. So what I'm trying to give you are practical insights which will help you understand these things and be better prepared. Now, the next point which I wanted to say is that you would be familiar with these words. Campuses today are taking and people are talking. If I were to raise the slang or the language, you would say Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, millennials, with a bit of tongue twisting. But that's what your young generation is all about. And what I want to highlight now is, for you as the future professionals, what is the difference which the environment has brought in, or which will be the environment that you're going to face, and to what you should be looking at the impact it has today, particularly post-COVID, on yourself. So today, uncertainty is the new normal. Nothing is certain. Could we have imagined that Ukraine and Russia can go to war? And that too for so many weeks today? Policies of government changes left, right, and center. So uncertainty, which is like the life that you are having today, is a highly certain environment. But the moment you move out, what you have to understand that future remains uncertain, and that you have to accept first and then prepare yourself. And second most important, today, like you are breathing, the future of work is 100% digital. So we would have to understand how to work, how to be prepared to accept working on a digital platform. And we are doing that. I'm talking to you on a digital platform. In our times, if the person is not able to come, that's the end of the day. But now, the entire industry, which has got a new lease of life in the IT, is education, and they are doing bigger way because they have digitized everything. And campuses today are also moving in terms of online degrees, online degree programs. The third most important thing today is the speed and the response time. Gone are the days where we would throw a question and then we would wait. Today, everything is instantaneous. One Twitter, a millisecond thing can change the fortunes of millions and millions of people. You could never imagine that Tesla will buy Twitter. But then that's what is. The other factor is also what we say, devil is in the details, which means a lot of understanding, a lot of going into the details of whatever is being presented to you is required, because things are complex, things are uncertain. So one has to be more and more focused into understanding things in more detail, and wherever we are not sure, have the courage to ask and clarify. But seek to understand, not seek to answer. And due to this, the requirement for innovation and upskilling is huge. India has produced around 30 unicorns. And when I say 30, unicorn is a term which is wherein your startup reaches a valuation of $100 billion, which is huge amount of money. And during pandemic, the highest numbers of unicorn have come from India. And that is all because this pandemic gave an opportunity for them to innovate and upskill and bring a product or a service which is the requirement of the day. And this cannot be done if you do not have the learning ability. A lot of unicorn are people who are more than 60 years old. During this time, they learned a new skill. They visualized that this could be a good product or a service. They framed team members, maybe who are as young as you people, and collaborated and developed a system and a product and launched it and raised that level to a valuation which is billions and billions of dollars. And lastly, we are now realizing what's the value of natural resources. The biggest of them was oxygen, which was never taken or given any value. But then crores and crores of people lining on the streets trying to fill their oxygen cylinders, that make us realize that how precious this resource is, which everyone takes for granted. And to us, on an individual or a collective level, what we need is, we need to be more and more humane. We were given this fortunate that we are human beings, but we need to value people who are close to me. Not only my family members, they are the number one priority, but we need to take care of other people who are near me. I may be fortunate enough to have better facilities, better wisdom as compared to someone else. I may have a better intellect, but then that gives me a responsibility to help others. The level of patience requirement has gone up drastically. And we need to communicate. So many people are feeling depressed. So many people are feeling left out. So we need to communicate, and we need to make people also express what's going on. Heavens is not going to fall. You are not doing well, fair enough. Lend me your thoughts. Be empathy and network. This is one word which has caught like anything. Networking is the key requirement. I am in need of a help, or I can provide a help. So this networking is what will make it possible that the person who needs a help is connected with the person who can provide that help. I can be part of the chain. It's not meaning that I have to provide all the help, but I can be that important chain which can connect the two. And that is why the term is interdependency. The world needs all of us, and we need to support each other. There are no winners. So win versus losing is to be replaced that we are all winners. Or we will all lose together. If this world goes down, the crisis happen, like Ukraine and Russia is happening, the entire world is suffering. It's not just the Russia and Ukraine are suffering. And the concept of health, fitness, and safety cannot be taken lightly now. So what is required to be done? Because you have experienced a turmoil which no other generation has seen. So to convert This is a Harvard study which says that to convert any thought to an action, and that action can lead to a habit, it will take minimum 90 days, which is a 3-month cycle. So if I want to imbibe anything, whatever has happened in the past is past, but if I want to improve anything, take up a new skill, develop a new timing, do not expect the results to happen in a short time. It will take some time. You will fail multiple times, but don't give up. So this is something which I felt are from my heart. I've written all these things down. Continuing to that, the word is chaos, but what does chaos further meaning? Is it's chaotic. The scale is very high. Advanced versions is there because what you can think of, the world is already far ahead. So what you would be given of are far advanced versions of either a crisis or an opportunity. So the inputs are positive side, the opportunities are also advancing. When we had to look into career, there were only 3 or 4 things: engineer, doctor, armed forces. Today, you are spoiled with choice. But at the same time, if you are slow, somebody else will grab that opportunity. So the speed is the last but very potent weapon towards the future. We need to think, but we need to act fast. Now, what I have also wanted to cover, because I was given that now you would be looking at, after this completion of first year, as summer training, internships, which is known as. While the institute will do their bit to provide you with some choices, options, a very input from my side would be, how do you want to choose which internship I should pursue? My first small suggestion to you would be, you have to decide yourself. And each person's choice can be different, distinct, based on their own requirement. One person may want to choose a brand. The other person, corollary, would like to go, or he has a preference for a particular company. Somebody may want to choose an internship with a preference of a city. There are some people who have got some experience, or they must have known that the culture of this particular company is good. So I would like to place my internship requirements based on culture. There are some people who want that I will take up an internship where I can get a field work. And these are the options one should be looking at. Somebody may only be interested in their own specific hobby, so he may not even want to join an internship in a formal program. There are instances, and I am meeting people who says that their internship is they want to learn a guitar, or they want to learn Kathak dance. So they are taking internships with those gurus. There are some people whose only aim would be that I want to join an internship where I can get a job option. But there are some things which I would like to emphasize, which is choose also based on a learning opportunity, because this is the period where expectations from you would be low. The only expectations during an intern program from the institutes and from the industry which offers you is to help you, not the industry. In the process, industry can gain a few things, but the focus is for you to learn, for you to develop further whatever passions you have. Take up projects, but be communicative about it. This is what you want to do. And at the same time, even it's 1 year period, 1 month period, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, try to give a meaningful result. And the result, when I say, is not always quantifiable. But the point is, discuss very clearly as to what is the end objective which you want to achieve out of the internship. That should be clear to you as well as to the other person, whoever you are working under with, that at the end of the internship, this is what I would like to be recognized for, that I was expected to deliver this and I have done that. Even if it is a learning, that let's say somebody can say, okay, I'm giving you first 2 chapters of Python, just complete that. So the end of the internship, you say that I've done that, please take a test, and I would like to score 10 out of 10 out of that test. That's the result. Lastly, some could be paid stipend internships. There are a lot of companies who view internships that it's a free time available with the students, so I don't have to pay and they can come and do my errand. Nothing right, wrong, good, bad, but exercise your choice. Be responsible that if I have to choose internship, these are my reasons, and do not get discouraged that these reasons are somebody is criticizing, somebody is feeling that this is not a right or wrong decision. But yes, at the same time, enjoy your internship. You will not get these opportunities once you are in a full-fledged job. And when you move to the expectation, let's say if I were to ask what I expect from an intern, I would rate number 1 as the clarity of communication. Whether you want to speak in your regional language, Hindi, you need to express clearly to what is being asked from you. Do not be shy of trying to copy someone. If you're not able to speak properly in a particular language, be upfront and say, I would like to speak in this language. But be clearly of the communication. A few things which discourages me is when I ask someone, if I were to ask you a job option, what do you want? Some common responses is, you decide, sir, whatever you give, I will do it. At least that puts me off very badly. I will decide, but here I am asking your opinion. I would like to understand what is the thought that you have. And towards that, you need to love yourself first. That's why we write, be natural. Each person God has made is unique. So be natural. Do not imitate. Do your homework. If you are approaching someone, some industry, at least do some basic search their website, know something about it. Don't reach totally blank. And be honest and transparent. If you don't know something, admit it. We're not expecting you to know everything, but don't bluff. And yes, need to have hunger for learning. A few quotes I would like to end, and then I'll ask you a short rapid fire questions. The purpose of this is post-COVID, the only thing that is requirement from us is that we must have picked up a new skill. We need to become more knowledgeable, and also there has been a lot of focus about health and fitness. And if we're not able to do that, the only thing that we can be expected we lack is the discipline. We should always be now looking at change, because that is the new normal. And anything that comes to us should not be disrupting us. So yes, change is the new norm. No problems. We created our own limits. That's the human mind. But God has also given that we ourselves are capable to break these limits also. And at the end of the day, what I wish for you is all of you become future ready. And my last quote is, let us not be the best, because we always have in us the ability to be better than the best. So this is a short input. Before I leave the floor, this is a quick fire responses. I've talked about brands and companies. I will give you names of the brands, and I would want you to respond, whoever wants to, with the name of the company. Okay? So I'll start with brands like Oreo, Toblerone, Bonvita. Can you name the company? Oreo biscuits, Bonvita,
Cadbury.
Cadbury.
Cadbury. Yes, sir. Cadbury.
Anybody else? That's not the right answer. Cadbury is also a brand. The company which owns these brands, by this time you could have done a Google search. Anyway, it's Mondelez. Mondelez. That's the name of the company which is bought Cadbury's. So your 5-star, your Bonvita, your Toblerone, Oreo is all now owned and marketed by a company known as Mondelez. Okay, 2-minute noodles, Maggie.
Sir, Nestle.
Nestle.
Okay, good. A drink known as Sprite.
Coca-Cola.
Okay. When we get hurt, we use Dettol.
Racket.
No.
Racket Benson.
Racket and?
Benson.
No, it's not Benson's. There's a separate company. Yes, Racket and Benkaiser. Benkaiser is the right pronunciation. Okay. A brand known as Tiger in biscuits.
Britannia.
Okay. Fevicol.
Pidilite. Pidilite.
Okay. Binaka. Binata. Binata. B-I-N-A-C-A.
Marico.
No.
I guess it's Dabur.
It's Dabur. Correct. Dabur is the right.
Dabur.
Dabur is the right answer. Peter England. Shirts. Peter England. Very famous personality. Yeah.
Aditya Birla.
Yes, it is Aditya Birla Fashions. Okay. This may be a bit tough. Chevrolet vehicles.
General
General
Motors.
Motors.
Okay. Pizza Hut.
Jubilant Food. No, sir.
Yum Brands.
Yum Brands.
Yes, that's true. KFC, Pizza Hut are part of the Yum brands. Royal Enfield.
Eicher Motor.
That's true. And my favorite now, the drinks is Ruh Afza.
Hamdard.
Hamdard.
I want the full name of the company.
Hamdard Laboratory.
My favorite also.
Full name of the company, which is
Hum-
written on the bottle of Ruh Afza. Hamdard is correct, but that's not the full name of the company.
Hamdard Davakhana.
Okay, I'll give you 90%. Go back and see the label. It is Hamdard Davakhana within the bracket India. Earlier, they were known as Hamdard Laboratories Limited, but then government changed that it is part of the FMCG and it is not part of the Ayurvedic setup. So they had changed the name of the company to Hamdard Davakhana India because they still wanted to retain that Davakhana is their brand. So the point I wanted to say that is what is visible and what needs to be explored or understood. Sometimes the brand becomes so popular that people don't even know the companies behind that. And that is the whole purpose of my interaction today, is to make you people like visible as brands. Be your own brand ambassador. Now you're going to move to a new life. So every one of you has this potential to become such a brand ambassador as the name of the brands that I just talked about. So I leave you with this from my side, and I would encourage for you to have open discussions and whatever doubts or whatever inputs you had in mind. Anirudh, if you can navigate this thing, that's fine with me.
Anybody with any questions, kindly ask sir. You can also type in, I'll ask sir. On your behalf. Yes, sir, I have my own personal question. So I'll start with that one. Sir, like as you said, work from home has become new normal nowadays. But now the condition outside is getting better and better. Most probably at the end of the year, everything will be normalized. So, sir, how again the shift from work from home to that office going routine, how it will be, it will be a very dicey situation for the employees to again adapt the same thing and go back to the old normal. So, how it is going to be?
See, the change, what you people would have to understand, earlier work from home was a requirement due to pandemic, due to government restrictions. Now, we pray that this pandemic, although it's slightly increasing, but it pans out and the threat of illness is eliminated. Vaccination programs are further progressing. So we eventually would want the ill effects of the disease to go out. Now, coming to your query of work from home, the companies are clear of using a hybrid model. In the sense, wherever we have systems and processes which will be conducive to have the working as work from home, we will progress that. And wherever we feel that it is essential that the requirement is to work in a physical space, we will encourage that. The transition is more and more on an individual company or a sector base. A large number of IT and even manufacturing has realized that working from home in a confirmed, protected environment is better. But we have to also realize that not everyone would have a proper facility at home to work. So for that, either the organizations are making the infrastructure available to those people, or they are even going in for sharing of platforms at the places which is convenient or maybe near to the place of residences.
So I have a question from Pratik Agarwal. Why IT companies are still preferring work from home? I guess we have already answered.
It is already answered, sir.
See, one specific aspect I would like to say in IT is the number of people which IT employs is huge as compared to other sectors. And IT is limited to a few metros or let's say town B cities today. So the number requirement is huge, which is why their expenses on the buildings and administrative costs is very high. And they can easily adapt to work from home because all that is required is a laptop, connectivity, and the people.
So anybody else with any questions? Kindly ask.
See, I had reduced my time because I wanted all of you to be more lively and interact because this is an opportunity for you. Some two puts here. Okay. Okay, if there are no questions, can I ask Anirudh, like say, what kind of choices are you people expecting during the internships?
At least this can be answered by those who are being.
Sir, operations profile.
What do you mean by operations?
So managing all kind of operations in the industry for an organization related to the objective of the organization.
See, again, this is a very, very vague kind of an answer. And as I said that when I was wanting to have a clear communication, you see, operations means we are producing any product in any manufacturing process. So the input where I would want you to focus is what's the kind of industry I would want to work on. like currently I am part of the auto component unit. We are producing parts which go to any two-wheeler, four-wheeler, any kind of automobile, we are making a part for them, be it in India, be it in the globe. Now you might want to work in an FMCG sector, where you would like to work with Unilever's, Reckitt Benzai. These are all the different segments. You might want to work in IT. In IT also operations will have a role, because today IT has to also service the industry. So they also need experts from the industry to be able to build products or to improve upon their products. So we need to first decide as to where we want to be. And then once we decide that, you can always build upon some kind of a reference or networking, or even approach the industry directly. You can always go through the websites and write a mail to the corresponding mail IDs, and you will get a response.
Absolutely, sir. So, like, I myself wants to be a part of an FMCG company. So, but I'm not. But I don't guess that initially I can have brand management type of direct job. First, we all have to go through sales process and all. So how can we
No, Anurag, see, you have to understand brand management in an FMCG is entirely a different process. When you say sales and product management are the two functions that goes in an FMCG. Sales and product management is different in the sense the people who are responsible for sales, their role is that you need to network with the dealers, distributors, arrange the material from the stocks to those warehouses, and then eventually it is the sale points, and there is a customer pull from the sales point so that the sales happen. That's the sales job. The product person is responsible for, let's say, brands. Let's say, to give an example of Mondelez, you have Bonvita, you have Toblerone, you have Oreo, and you have 5-star or a Cadbury's. Now, the product person has to decide what strategy I need to have for these kind of a products. Not everyone could prefer a Bonvita all over India. So I need to have visibility, or I need to have the distribution network more in an area where a preference of a natural taste could be of Bonvita, which is a substitute or a mixing with milk. Down this level, milk is not preferred. So if I put more and more focus there, I will not get sales. Now, whereas brand management means is you are given a responsibility of a brand and you need to increase the value of that brand. And recall is just one of them. There are multiple aspects of brand management. So this is where, again, I'm trying to say that a clarity of what you want versus what you say, because what you say will be interpreted by the other person, which may not be the one which you actually want. And that is why the whole perspective is to understand more, to discuss more, and which will turn help you to be more clear about what actually you want.
Thank you, sir.
And one last aspect is I've left a presentation of or an introduction of our company. I did not go into that thing because if the institute wants, they can circulate so that you people will get to know what our company does. That's all. Nothing from a promotional point of view, but it is just that if you have invited me and you would like to know about what the company is, you can get from that presentation. So we still have 2-3 minutes, if that's fine. Otherwise, I move back to Dr. Vatika.
I'm a little louder.
Those words are going to have an everlasting imprint on your life, sir. Now, after this wonderful session, I would like to thank you, sir, on behalf of Jaipuria School of Business and faculty for your time and sharing words of wisdom with us. Thanks a lot, sir, and hope to see you again in person.
Yes, given a choice, I think I would love to interact with you in person. That could be much more rewarding. But nevertheless, during this short time, I thank you, Dr. Vatika, Anirudh, and all the students, and wish you the best, what the world is waiting for you. May you all get more, and each one of you get what you desire, and also what you deserve. All the best. Thank you.
Sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, sir.